Oh, shoot.
Yes, ma'am.
So you about to lose your license for 55 views.
And she's on live saying patients' names. Oh, you have got to be so serious. And this is why I always say, you don't necessarily have to be smart to be a nurse. You don't. And some people get so mad at me when I say, like, oh, I did this and I did that and I had straight A's to nursing school. That means nothing if you have no critical thinking skills.
She is opening a lidocaine patch with her teeth.
This is not sanitary either.
Can you imagine visiting a relative in a nursing home but having to worry about the registered nurse live streaming while taking care of your relative? Or even imagine being a resident in a nursing home and your nurse is live stream while they are providing care for you. That is so crazy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Selena and today we are talking about a registered nurse, a newly registered nurse who live streams while providing care for patients. This is Yazz Scott. She goes by Yazz Scott on TikTok. She recently passed her NCLEX exam, became a registered and licensed nurse in August of 2024. She recently has been receiving a lot of backlash for live streaming while doing a med pass in the nursing home that she works at. She just started this job a month ago. Now she's on her own. You know, she's out of training and such. Take a look at things that she does on live stream and we'll come back and talk about it.
Oh my God, y'all just be on here doing the most. Just relax.
Yes, ma'am. You do mornings. Yeah. And none of them wanted to give
Healthcare girly. Okay.
Can you check my pants, see if they're dry?
Let me get a glove on. Nope, they feel dry, girlfriend. You have a... Ain't no patient information showing, okay? So y'all just relax. Oh my God, why do y'all keep doing that? I'll lose my license if I'm showing patient information. I'm not showing any patient information, so just relax. Just relax. If y'all see some patient information, then just holla. But I'm not showing nothing. I'm just at work, so just chill. Sit back, relax. Damn. Y'all be taking the fun out of everything. God damn. Just chill. And nobody's mad. That's the thing. Who's mad? I'm just telling y'all to relax, chill. You're not seeing any patient information. You're not seeing nothing. So just relax. Y'all be doing the absolute most. Obviously, this is the first time y'all been on here because I go live. This ain't the first time that y'all be just doing the most. This is not sanitary either. I've been working on my own now. Actually, y'all, I just started this job. I've only been here for probably about a month. 1 second. Thank you for the follow. Oh, shoot. Actually, it wasn't the wrong medication. It's just the lidocaine patch. You're supposed to have it in the daytime, not at night. I've only been a nurse. I passed my NCLEX August 15th. Your facility does not have safety concerns with you preparing meds online. How long were you in school before becoming a nurse? Your showers aren't at night, I guess. I guess your showers are during the day. Oh my God. Y'all are just nerve-wracking. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. So, nursing home. I'm at a nursing home. I'm gonna come talk to y'all for a second. Y'all are in these comments. Let me block this hoe. I'm just now reading some of these. How do I even block on here? Cause bitch, y'all, it was doing way too much. Way too much. Girl, I love doing nursing content. As long as I'm not showing any patient information, I don't understand why y'all be on here doing so much. Just doing way too much. Thank God. Kari, let me go ahead and just block you, boo. Y'all be on here just doing too much. Girl, I know what HIPAA is. I've been in the healthcare field a very long time, even as a CNA. Like, I know what HIPAA is. I appreciate y'all on here that's having my back, because they just doing too much. Like, I done been in healthcare way too fucking long. I'm not about to sit on here and argue with nobody or do none of that. It's not happening. Was tripping. I'm just now being able to see everything. God damn. Let me go ahead and get this last guy. But that's the one annoying part, because that's their job to do that. And they just don't do it. So now I have to go get some vitals after passing all of these meds for 20 people.
Not only did this woman violate HIPAA, but she really thinks she did not at all. If you look up HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, this was put in place to protect patient rights. Look it up. There's so many restrictions and disclosures and legalities of this act, but in general, protected health information. That's basically it. That act is put in place to protect patients and their rights and their privacy. But what's really crazy to me, as someone who works in healthcare, is that she thought she did nothing wrong. She kept saying, "You guys are crazy, just relax, we're having fun here." It's obviously not your first time on my page, because we go live here while I'm at work all the time, essentially. Taking the live stream out alone, she verbalized patients' names. Like, I think she thought in her head that she is showing the medications with patient names on it or paper copies of patient information. That would be a criminal offense, or that would be violating HIPAA. And she was like, "I didn't show patient information, so I'm fine." She says, if I'm showing patient information, just holler.
If y'all see some patient information, then just holla.
We shouldn't have to worry about you showing patient information and your live stream audience tells you. There should be no window of opportunity for the world to let you know that you violated HIPAA or that you're not doing your job right. Filming at work can also be a blurry line to cross as well, because number one, if you are using the company Wi-Fi, that's using the company resources for your own personal gain. That is basically in every single company policy that is put in place. That's number one. So if she was on data, whatever. But filming at work has become a recent discussion because there's been a lot of people getting fired for their social media, their TikTok videos, or even just filming at work. And there's a lot of successful YouTubers, social media folks, influencers on TikTok and YouTube who do day in my lives or get ready with me for work. A lot of teachers film themselves talking to students, so it can get kind of messy if you hear the students' voices or a student gets in the shot. And then at that point, the person filming, the adult filming, has to blur the kid's face out, or the parents have to be involved. Do the parents have to sign a permission form, a consent form? The kids can't consent. The kids aren't necessarily aware of the impacts of what being filmed is, or what if someone even recognizes a student's voice on someone's TikTok or YouTube video. So filming at work can definitely get messy, and I feel like since it's kind of a newer thing, a lot of companies are probably developing their policies or already have a policy in place. We have seen so many videos of people who work in fast food restaurants exposing the company's cleanliness and then getting fired, or they got fired so they exposed things, or they quit their job so they exposed things in the restaurant. And it gets kind of hairy when it comes to that. Like, are you allowed to have your phone while working? Most of the time, people keep their phone in their pockets or on them while they are doing their job, whether they're in healthcare, whether they're a teacher, whether they work for the post office. When it comes to filming, where are the parameters, where are the guidelines with that? A lot of people have been coming for Yazz Scott, and we'll get into that, but I do want to say, what makes you think that you should film at work when you are providing care to patients in general? Even if you didn't say a patient's name, even if you didn't have medications in front of you, why is that okay? I feel like sometimes fit checks, if you show your outfit, that's more of like the lower end of the spectrum. There's no real risk of patient information or confidential information being shown. But when it comes to actually in communication with patients, that's where it's a no-brainer. Like, You cannot film that or live stream that. I don't know what made her think that, and I'll get into more of my opinion later. But a lot of companies do not want you to use their personal resources anyways, whether it's the Wi-Fi or you logging into your personal email while at work. I know a lot of people print personal things at work, but even that is a violation. I know it sounds crazy, but really, you're not necessarily, at least in my experience, I worked in retail, I worked in food service, I worked in healthcare. They did not want their employees to print out their flight info using the company printer, using whatever. And I know people who do it. I know people who have done it. But honestly, they can track that, and also it's in their policy. It's frowned upon. Just don't do it, especially if you have a secure job. It is so hard to find a job and secure a job nowadays. And being a registered nurse is huge. Y'all have to go to school, you have to do clinicals, you have to pass the NCLEX. And I'm not a nurse, but I know a lot of nurses and I work with a lot of nurses. It's a hard job, and that's just the studying part. When you're actually in the workforce and you've worked so hard to get there, why would you sabotage that? And more importantly, why are the dots not connecting that you are risking your license and you are risking the patient's privacy and violating HIPAA? Like, how in your right mind are you thinking that? And I'm not saying this to bash Yazz, but really it's like, ma'am, you are on MedPass where you're administering medications in a nursing home. The registered nurse goes around residents' homes, or yeah, their rooms, but we do refer to them as homes, and they get their medications together, get it all ready for them. And sometimes there's a long list of medications, so it's a lot of work to do. And if you're a registered nurse or you work with medications at your job, you have experience, let me know in the comments section down below. There's a lot of people who have specific routines, the timing of medications. They have to get vitals before they get medications administered. I mean, a patient's not going to get insulin if their blood sugar is already low, so there's nuances to it as well. If they always get insulin in the morning, but this morning they don't really need it, that registered nurse has to be aware of what's going on. In reality, you're not going to be aware of what's going on if you are on live stream. And this lady is live streaming during her MedPass. She's going to each patient's room, or each resident's room. They refer to patients living in nursing home as residents, so I'll just keep saying residents. But Yazz Scott is going to each room, and she's in the front of the room. The door is in the shot. I don't think she got the room number in the shot, but still, that is patient related. Like, someone could figure out where she works, which people have, and people have found her nursing license, and they could figure it out. You never want the opportunity for people to figure it out as well. Not only did she do that, but that also opens up a window of opportunity for the resident to come to the door. What if the resident got up and they wanted to ask for something, a cup of water, a cup of ice, a warm blanket? These are small things, but what if they said, hey, can I get something for my headache or what have you? They could be in Yazz Scott's shot. They could be in the live stream, and they didn't ask to be there. Same with employees, Yazz Scott's colleagues. What if they had to come to her to ask her for something? Or what if a rapid response was happening and all registered nurses had to come to a specific area in the nursing home? There's so many urgencies that can happen in healthcare, especially as a registered nurse. Being a registered nurse is not for the weak. You need to be on it all the time. And if you're on live stream, how is that okay? Like, what if you did have to go away from the live stream, which she does, and your live stream is on? People could be moving in the shot. They didn't ask to be there. They didn't give their consent. And since it's live, it's already going to be there for the world to see. When you fill out your paperwork for whatever appointment you have, when you're in the waiting room and you have to fill out information, one question that I will always remember is if the facility is allowed to put health information in your voicemail. Because what if in your cell phone someone else is in it for some reason, or they can see the voicemail voice to text, or it's a house phone and the voicemail is on there. There's a lot of opportunities for people to find out health information. So yes, that's why HIPAA's put in place, because anything can happen. And especially in healthcare where there's a lot of liabilities, confidentialities, I think the backlash is basically, if you know that, then why are you doing this? So not only did she live stream on TikTok while doing a MedPass, she makes a medication error, and she also does not correctly use personal protective equipment or PPE. She is opening a lidocaine patch with her teeth.
She's not seeing a tear either.
Can you imagine being the patient or the resident and you saw that? Or even a coworker and you saw that and you know that's not sanitary? She even says, I know this is not the most sanitary, and still does that. Still opens the lidocaine patch with her teeth. She is so glued to the comments too. She'll do the med pass and then stop to look in the comments. And then she'll leave to bring the resident the medications and then come back and look at the comments. You are so glued to the live stream that you are not even doing your job, and you're essentially just taking breaks. That's time theft. If you are scrolling or if you are doing something that's not necessarily your job, that is time theft. You are getting paid to do what? Not your job. That nursing home doesn't pay you to live stream your job. It's different though if a company asks you to be part of their social media platform.
Work a 12-hour shift with me as a Children's Minnesota NICU nurse at Mercy Hospital.
Since TikTok is becoming more popular, social media is developing, we have seen hospitals, we've seen veterinarian clinics, we've seen so many different companies use social media as advertisement, using TikTok, using Instagram, using YouTube. And I think that's different when the company is actually involving you and asking you to do this versus you doing it on your own. A lot of nurses and people on TikTok have responded to this whole situation, and I think they bring up a lot of good points, especially from a fellow nurse's perspective.
You got to be a different kind of dumb to get on here and record yourself on live as a nurse doing a medication pass. HIPAA! The worst part about it is this girl said a patient's name not one, multiple times on here. Talking about something, I'm not breaking HIPAA. You can't see patient information. Girl, we can hear it. Then, baby, you made a medication error on camera. So now I know what med Betty Sue is on. That patient should and could sue the fuck out of you. Do y'all think that they're giving away licenses for fun? The board of nursing will come and your license before you can say I'm sorry. Like, people on the live are trying to warn you, like, girl, you're breaking HIPAA. Girl, log off. Girl, get off. Girl, get off. And she like, it's not that serious. Y'all dragging it. Y'all doing too much. For your 55 viewers, so you about to lose your license for 55 views. Remember, social media is social media. Your license is all you got. You need to protect that shit at all costs. Girl, get off the fucking live. You have to record of all things, you passing medication. Something where you should be focused anyways. You at the camera talking to the patient, at the camera, responding to people. Girl.
You're a nurse going live on TikTok while you're at work. Why are we doing this? Let's not do that. People that don't work in healthcare already think nurses are a joke because we're making nursing content on our break at work and think that we're completely ignoring our patients. What are we doing? Let's stop. How about we not go live on TikTok while we're at work? How about we do that at home? You know, when we don't have people's lives in our hands, you know? That nurse made a mistake. I'm sure she's probably regretting the mistake that she made by going live while at work, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people coming after her right now. The people that are in healthcare that are interested in posting content on social media, just don't go live while you're at work. Rule number one. I mean, I thought that was common sense, but I guess it's not. Also, never post your badge in anything that you post online, because I'm gonna tell you right now, people will find you so fast and report you to HR. That's happened to me multiple times. So learn from me, learn from my mistakes, because I can tell you right now that people just have a lot of hatred towards healthcare professionals for whatever reason. So don't do that. Also, don't post where you work, specifically the name in the background of your facility, the hospital name, none of that, because they're gonna come for you.
Y'all are starting to make it look like they give out nursing degrees for free. Y'all, please start being so for real. Why did I see a girl on live at work during med pass, and she ended up making a med error? And she's on live saying patients' names. Oh, you have got to be so serious. And this is why I always say, you don't necessarily have to be smart to be a nurse. You don't. And some people get so mad at me when I say, like, oh, I did this and I did that and I had straight A's to nursing school. That means nothing if you have no critical thinking skills. They can't teach that. They really, truly, honestly cannot teach that in nursing school. If you do not have critical thinking and common sense locking together in your brain, baby, you can wrap that up. Nursing is not for you. If you think that it is absolutely perfectly acceptable for you to be on live during med pass while you're at work, you don't have critical thinking and common sense locked into your brain right now. You don't. And her defense was, oh, you can't see any patient information. It don't matter if I can see it if you saying it. It don't matter. And then you made a med error on top of that. Oh my God. Y'all have got to be so for real. As much as I love labor and delivery, and as much as I love social media hand in hand, y'all will never see get ready with me for this induction blog. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Y'all will never know what hospital I work at. If somebody comments it, that person will be blocked. That comment will be deleted. Y'all, that is not safe. That is not safe. Please get off. Get off social media when you're at work, because at the end of the day, hospitals are businesses and you are expendable. Be for real. Protect your license, because nobody else is going to protect it for you.
Something to keep in mind too is that Yazz Scott just passed her NCLEX in August 2024. She posted this in May 2025, said she's been at this job for a month. What I think happened is that she was just really excited. She's been a certified nurse assistant for a while. She said she's been in healthcare for a while.
Girl, I know what HIPAA is. I've been in the healthcare field a very long time, even as a CNA. Like, I know what HIPAA is.
But people are saying, if you've been in healthcare for so long, especially since you just passed this exam, the NCLEX, why are you even thinking about live streaming while at work? I get being excited. It's your first job in a field that you've worked so hard for, in a field that you've been in for a while, healthcare. It's just not good. And I'm not here to bash her, but can you imagine that being your nurse? People should be more aware of things like this. Why is this an option? People in healthcare make mistakes. People who are in positions of power make mistakes, but this is violating the law. During her live streams, she kept telling the audience to calm down. Most of the comments were calling her out. She even took a break from her job, took a break from doing the med pass to sit down and try to block people who are calling her out.
I'm gonna come talk to y'all for a second. Y'all, it was doing way too much. Let me go ahead and just block you, boo. Y'all be on here just doing too much.
She tells people to relax. She tells people that this is not her first time doing this.
Obviously, this is the first time y'all been on here, because I go live. This ain't the first time that
And actually, she has a video, not a live stream, of her filming herself doing a med pass anyways. Now, if you film a med pass and then you upload it, at least she could say, hey, there was no verbalized patient information in that video and no colleague or resident was in that video. But still, where is the line drawn where you film at work and you're doing your job? I do see some nurses or people in different occupations kind of showing what a day in their life looks like. And I feel like it's kind of a sticky situation because A, you're on the clock, B, company policies, what do they say about it? Are they developing policies about it? And C, are you using company resources? Are you using the Wi-Fi? If not, you're still on company time. But I think just with the new age of social media, it gets kind of hard. I filmed like a fit check at work, especially at my old job. Before I would log in, I would physically film myself, my outfit, and then I would start my job. But then I was thinking, you know what? That might not be right, or that could be seen as sticky. And so I stopped. I don't do any type of fit checks at work, especially at my current job. I do not do that. And so I do say that to say people make mistakes. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I've never done this or that before. What I think happened with Yazz is that she was just so excited. This is her, I think, first job as a registered nurse. She just passed the NCLEX. But for her to say, I didn't show patient information, but she's saying patients' names. She made a medication error while on live stream. Even though that medication is prescribed for that resident, she said that they needed the lidocaine patch at night versus the morning. She's also seen during that live stream talking to a patient saying, oh, I guess you get showers during this time and not this time.
Your showers aren't at night, I guess. I guess your showers are during the day.
That is still patient privacy. I still think someone could figure out who it is because she's in front of the room. She's saying when someone gets their showers. She's saying when a patient gets a specific medication. Even if it was just one of those things, maybe not. Maybe they can't figure out who it is. However, that information should not be filmed. Point blank, period. That information should not be filmed at all. Do you think doctors and surgeons should live stream? No. They should not do that while at work. We've seen that before with Dr. Roxy. She filmed and live streamed herself while having people under the knife. And now she is not active in her practice, at least right now. I think her license got revoked.
Why Dr. Roxy lost her medical license. It's not because she was a doctor on TikTok. It's because she did not comply to the standards of the Ohio Medical Board. She was investigated because she live streamed her surgeries on TikTok, and she was also found to have multiple complications that were not within the standard practice of that particular procedure. There were 3 patients in particular that suffered complications that were not normal complications. One of those patients, she had live streamed their surgery on social media. Reportedly, this patient underwent a liposuction procedure and a BBL and suffered multiple intestinal perforations as a result of this procedure, which is not common. Now, she had been warned by the medical board in 2018 and 2021 about the use of her social media and the concerns regarding patient privacy. After those warnings, she continued to live stream surgeries from 2021 through 2022. As physicians, we take the Hippocratic Oath, which of course is first, do no harm. She did not perform to the standards of practice of medicine, and as a result, patients suffered complications as a result of that. Therefore, she lost her medical license.
After the backlash happened, people were recording her live stream, posting it to TikTok. After people responded, she eventually apologized, but I don't think her apology was sincere.
Y'all want me to be on here crying and just crashing out so bad. Like, I wasn't thinking, girl. I wasn't. Like I said, I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. You gotta take responsibility and accountability for the things you do in life. There's nothing to be sad about. Yes, I learned my lesson. I definitely did.
It honestly seems like she's just acknowledging what happened because she got caught and she's under investigation. Currently, her license is active right now, but that doesn't mean it will get taken away. She said in a comment that she's working and talking to the board right now, the Board of Nursing. I am new to the nursing journey, but I definitely knew better. I learned from my mistake for sure. The video posted was edited and clipped. I've been in contact with the state and I'm still currently working my job, hoping for the best outcome. Thank you. So she's working with the state for whatever state she's licensed in. I've seen a lot of people say, even though she made a mistake, the board will not necessarily take it away right away. She has to be an investigation. And you know, sometimes they give second and third chances. Just kind of up in the air. People have looked up her license and it's still active. I just don't think she's doing well with the backlash now. You know when you might have said something or did something as a kid and your whole extended family found out and that's like the talk of the town for months? You might hear your parent on the phone with a relative and they're saying what you did and you're like, oh my gosh, can we stop talking about that already? Why does the whole family have to know? Why does my second and third cousin know? Blah, blah, blah. The way that Yazz is responding is just like that. Can we stop talking about this already? I already apologized. I'm working with the state. And she's really responding to a lot of the positivity that supports her. That makes me think that she really isn't sorry. She's just upset that she is now realizing she could lose her nursing license that she worked so hard for. Someone said under one of Yazz Scott's videos, this is actually the video where she filmed a med pass, not on live stream, and then posted it to TikTok. And it says, leave this damn girl alone and go get a life. Y'all have nothing else better to do. Y'all act like she's abusing patients. Sorry about y'all own. Thank you, Yazz, for showing a day in the life of a nurse. Some of us really want to know to see if nursing may be for us. Yazz says, thank you for your positivity. I'm actually a really great nurse and I love what I do. Just made a bad decision, that's all. Doesn't define who I am. Thank you for the kind words. So that is nice. But she also liked another comment that said, what she did, what inappropriate, but it's never okay to laugh at others' downfalls. Y'all never know. You could also be held to the fire one day, especially as healthcare professionals. We live, make silly mistakes, and we learn hard lessons. It's what makes us human. So she hearted that, which I agree with. I don't think we're laughing at someone else's downfall. That's the thing. What we are doing is holding her accountable because as a nurse, it is your job to protect patients, care for patients, and also protect their health information. They should be cared for and they should also have their own privacy. That is your right as a patient, as a resident. I am definitely not laughing at her downfall. I don't wish any ill will on Yazz Scott. And even fellow nurses are just saying you need to be held accountable. So we are unsure where she's at right now with her nursing license, but let this be a lesson. It becomes sticky if you film at work or if you live stream at work. I think what she could do, if she still has an active license, She could transform her platform to how I studied for the NCLEX, how I managed life as a CNA and studied for the NCLEX, talk about what she's learned, or maybe even make a video addressing what happened, saying, hey, I made a mistake. I was just so excited because I am in my first job as a registered nurse. I worked so hard to be here. I'm sorry. I honestly think most of the time when people take accountability, address what happened, it's fine, and then the backlash will fizzle out. I'm not saying we should not hold her accountable. We definitely should. But I think if she transformed her TikTok a little bit, she could still share her experience as a nurse. Again, she's worked so hard to be here. Why throw it all away? If you wanted to do like nursing, influencer TikTok, you can do it in a tasteful way that protects the patient, the resident, and protects you. Look at Nurse Anna. What she does is she does a lot of reenactment skits. She shares information about being a labor and delivery nurse. Her husband is a dental surgeon, or he's a dentist, and what she does is she uses his office to film a lot of the exam room stuff. I'm not saying she has to find a husband and use their exam rooms and their private practice, but she could just film her experience in a place that's not her place of work. I don't know the legalities of filming on your lunch break or even filming in the break room. That's not up to me. That's really just the company policy. I think she can still have her platform if that's what she wanted and still talk about nursing, just revamp what she's done. But if I were you, Miss Scott, I would just kind of lay low, especially if there's an investigation with your nursing license. It does suck when you make a mistake, especially since the world saw it. Yes, there's going to be backlash. Yes, it might be bad for a while, but it won't be forever. Protect your peace right now, and if you've learned from your mistake, you learn from your mistake. It's time to just kind of accept it and keep working towards your goals and being the best nurse that you can be, because it is scary. Like, I don't want a nurse who live streams. I don't think anyone wants a nurse who live streams while providing care. I think the backlash is not laughing at your downfall. I think the backlash is just really people holding you accountable for violating HIPAA and causing risk for a patient, for a resident. What do y'all think about this whole situation? Have you heard about this on TikTok? When I saw that, I was like, whoa. How is that even possible? How does this even happen? What makes someone think to do this? Why do we feel the need to pick up our phone for every single thing? Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Are you a registered nurse? Are you in healthcare? Let me know your thoughts too, especially if you are in the same field or if you're on the other side. If you're a patient or you're receiving care, how would you feel if you saw your nurse live streaming while getting your medications together? How would you feel after you received care? You saw it online and there was a mistake that happened and they opened your medication with their teeth. That is it for today's video, y'all. I hope to have this up Memorial Day weekend. I hope you have a good long weekend. If you're off, well, hopefully you had a break, or if you work, I hope you do something for yourself today or have something planned to do something for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. If you don't, I just appreciate you being here, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!